everyone, and welcome to the Coffee Break Podcast. I am your host, Melissa.
And I'm your host, Elisa. Hello, everyone. Welcome back after we took a little bit. Um, we had a little break, and now we're back.
Yeah, things are getting hectic. Thanks,
Things,
COVID.
yeah, thanks, COVID. We both work with children care, and we are just trying to adapt to all the new changes that are happening. So we're kind of just
Brain
overwhelmed right
dead.
now and brain dead because everything is virtual, and
So
half our
much
coworkers,
information.
yes, and half our coworkers don't know how to work the computer.
Oh my gosh, tell me about it.
Yeah, so I'm just like, oh, all right, and that's okay because we're all learning together. So we're just trying to help one another, but it's just very tough when you're doing that still with like kids and everything like that. So it gets a little tiring after a while, but it's okay.
Yeah, just not trying to traumatize kids any further.
Yeah, we all get it. This COVID sucks, bro. But we're still trying our best
We'll
to
see how the rest of August goes.
Lord have mercy. Yeah.
Because things are going to kick off after August. So we'll see how even recordings start going too, considering that everything's going to be online, at least for us here in
Yeah.
California.
Yeah, everything's gonna be online. And it's like it's kind of I get it, it's good because, stop the spread.
Yeah,
But at the same time, it just makes it difficult for like families too.
yeah,
Like I already heard a few parents already said they have to quit their job because they don't have anyone to watch them. So that's like the down part about it.
yeah.
But
Like I understand a lot of the difficulties that parents have to go through
yeah.
being parents under this like current climate. It's very, very difficult. And we are very much like trying to work with all the parents, and
Yeah.
it's just difficult because everything's so new to us, and I feel like a lot of people tend to forget that this is so new. This is like no one knows exactly what to do or what's the correct protocol for these kinds of things, and so a lot of times we're all just trying to figure it all out at the same time, and it's putting a lot of mental stress onto us.
Yeah.
So that's why maybe farther in the future we'll probably even slow down recordings. We don't know yet, just because uh, I do want to focus my time on my day job because it requires so much.
Mhm.
Just like so, it requires so much of us, just mentally, and it's going to be a lot. So we'll keep
Yeah.
everyone updated, of course, on what's going to go on with the podcast. So far, I still want to do it. We're going to do this every other week. Um, and then maybe later on, who knows what's going to happen, but
Yeah.
like we might even slow down or halt recordings for a time depending on how the transition of change is going to happen. So I just want everyone to be prepared for that, and I don't want everyone to just be surprised that all of a sudden we're not uploading. And uh like that's kind of like our first off PSA of our podcast.
Yeah.
Sadly. So if you're new, like,
We're
we welcome
sorry.
you and we're sorry.
Yes. But thank you for understanding for those who just like pop on in or they've been listening to us for a while. I know I've had a few friends even ask like what's going on with the podcast because they know it's every Wednesday
Yeah.
and they text me or called me and was asking, "Well, what happened? Are you guys okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're just taking a break because they all know we work with kids, so they just making sure we're okay." Because my friend called me at 2 a.m. and was like, "Hey, where's the podcast? Did you guys get COVID?" And I was like, "Wow,
Oh,
that was a
no.
big leap from like." Hey, how you doing? You're doing okay from like y'all got that COVID? You got corona? Oh, like, oh, thanks, friend? Question mark? Big,
Not at all.
not at all. Oh, like, okay. That was a um twist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's like what we have going on. So, but we do appreciate those who have been very like patient with us, supportive. Um, so we appreciate all that. So, thanks for being there, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is the
And
Coffee Break podcast?
what? Yes, thank you, ma'am. I was like, oh.
Let's transition back in.
Transition back in. So, people who are joining us, you're wondering, what is the Coffee Break Podcast? Well, let me give you a little bit information of what we are. So, we're those two friends who finally got to sit down for a nice cup of joe after a very stressful week of work with all the new transitions. We talk about stuff like environment, current events, um, wow, I was about to say eco-friendly, which doesn't make any sense. Why I was gonna say eco-friendly. We even talk about entertainment and sometimes we even discuss our hobbies or a little bit about ourselves because sometimes we just need a vent once in a while, and that's why you have a coffee date. We also do a coffee of the day segment where we select one type of coffee or tea and give you fun facts or recipes to make them. So let's get brewing. So, what is our coffee of the day? People may ask. Well, this one is from the country of Senegal. I hope I'm pronouncing
Oh.
that right. And it's a cafe Touba. And this is a um, drink that is flavored with grains of selem. It's also known as Guinea, Gwen. Oh my gosh. Guinea peppers and it has dried spices that are ground together with the coffee before you make it because a lot of the coffees that we talk about here usually brew the coffee first and then
Mhm.
you brew it like later with the what's it called oh my gosh, why can I not think today? The spices.
Brain
And then
fart.
I know brain fart. Oh my goodness. So, and usually you would make the coffee first and then you would brew the spices separately or you make the coffee and then you brew it together afterwards. But this one goes into the ground coffee itself.
Hmm.
So when you make the coffee, the spice is already in there.
Oh, okay.
And it kind of gives you like a pepper um aftertaste.
Okay.
It has anti-allergenic properties and aid digestion. So if you're having any digestive problems and the coffee itself is not helping you, go down number two, this is a nice way to do it. And it's
Shoot.
yeah, just a little tip for you from Dr. Elisa.
Honestly, any coffee kind of day makes you go to the bathroom, if I'm quite honest.
Let's be
Especially in the
honest.
mornings, if it's like the first thing you drink and you're just having like straight black, be sure that you're gonna need to go to the bathroom later. Just letting
Yeah,
you know.
yes. Make sure you're near a bathroom or you don't have a group of like 13 kids.
Go to the
Um,
bathroom before you go to work.
Go to the bathroom before you go to work. Or wait till your lunch.
All right.
So this was originated from the city of Touba. That's why it's called Cafe Touba.
Oh.
And it's actually been increased like the consumption because so many people have like heard about it, and now other like cafe shops there have been producing that famous Cafe Toba, where and then they
Hmm.
actually put like ginger and spice in it. I know Nespresso from the Nescafe created its own coffee collection called Cafe Toba, and the reason why I didn't get it is because it said ginger and spice, and I don't like ginger. So they had a collection of that, but it was like a few years ago. It was pretty like popular. I mean, I didn't try it because again, ginger. But if they had a pepper section, I would have tried that. Yeah. So, if you don't have a way to, no, wait, sorry, rewind. Okay. So, to make this cafe toba, you are going to toss your coffee beans and you're going to roast them in a hot pan with the peppers. So you get that flavor in the roast. So when you grind up your coffee beans, you're going to get that texture of the pepper with it. So you're gonna
Oh.
smell it too. It's like really nice. Um, and then once you make your coffee and everything like that, they say to after you grind it and you make your coffee, they say go put it in a saucepan, and you're going to bring out different like seasoning, like ginger or what's the other spice I said? Ginger and spice. Cool. Uh, ginger and spice and everything nice, and then you may have the Powerpuff Girls. So,
Yay!
right?
Don't forget your chemical X.
Forget your chemical X. I think the peppers is the chemical X. If there's no
Oh, okay.
peppers, right? Yeah, there's no peppers in the girls' formula. So, yeah, and they say like once you brew your coffee, you put it in a saucepan and you heat it up a little bit with the ginger and other spices that you want to add to it. You do it for like 5 minutes and you let it simmer. Once it gets to a boil, you simmer it for 5 minutes, and then that's your coffee.
Nice.
Yeah, so this one's actually very interesting because it was funny. I just learned about it and then I saw it on my list and I was like, "Oh, let's do this today." It was meant to be.
It was meant to be.
Yes, meant to be. Yeah. So that's our coffee of the day. So go try it out.
Yeah, go try it out.
Yeah, or else.
Or else what?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. Dang, and now I'm scared.
You should be.
Okay,
Awesome.
so for today's topic, we're going to be talking about how art school almost made me want to stop making art or just stop liking art in
Dun
general.
dun dun.
So
Uh-oh.
it's kind of negative, but
A
it's
lesson.
basically like a lesson I had to learn essentially.
Yeah.
So
Oh boy.
let's hop to it.
All right. For all you new people who are joining college, you might want to hear this.
At least for like, commercial art type of stuff, because I went to school for character design and concept design, which
Mm-hmm.
is something that I was always told was like the hardest thing to get into. And I think that's one thing that I did learn from art school is that yeah, it is literally one of the hardest things to get into.
Because
It
everyone wants to do it.
Yeah, because it's like the most popular job that everyone wants to do. But
Yep.
things have changed now, I think, for a lot of us, especially a lot of people who I'm seeing on Instagram, TikTok, and
TikTok.
Twitter. Yeah, like I'm okay. Don't don't
Oh
judge me,
boy.
but I
Oh
got
no.
Tik. I got
No.
I did it, guys. I got the TikTok. I got the app. Don't hate me.
So
I
this
know
is our
I
next
was
for
saying I
today.
wasn't going
Thank you
to
for
do it,
joining us.
but I did. And my curiosity, I couldn't, yeah, I needed to just get it over with and get it. And I like it. It's interesting. I don't really post anything. I'm just a
Just watch it.
viewer. Yeah. So I'm enjoying a little of the videos that I keep seeing here and there. Uh, Obviously with every app there's some toxicity in there and I see it, but for the most part I just don't pay attention to it.
Yeah, that's
That's
basically
just
what you
my
do.
spiel. But I'm
Yes.
also seeing a lot of these really successful artists on TikTok who are making their own brands and
Yeah.
marketing their work, and it's working for them, and kudos to them. It's really amazing to see.
A
um
lot of work.
it's a lot of work. Um,
Yeah.
but it's really cool to see. And but like in art school, uh, that wasn't really something that was told to us as like an option. That wasn't an option when we were in art school. It was
No.
like you had to join a company to be able to gain that kind of success. They did
Yeah.
talk about independent work as like just by contract,
Mm-hmm.
like a short-term contract type of deal was something that was like heavily advised to do if that's
Yeah.
not that you wanted, just a way to stay independent, kind of, instead of like signing a full contract with a company like
And doing other
yeah,
people's like art and stuff like that.
exactly, because when you're in that company, you know, whatever you make, it does not belong to you.
It's
And
their
yeah,
property.
it's their property because you're under, like, even if it's personal art and you're doing it on their, their, tools that they hand you, or whatever it is, like whatever space you're making your art, that art
Mm-hmm.
doesn't belong to you because you're doing it under their name. So like it's you're able to use it as like things that you've done like resume wise, but as far as like making a business out of your own art, that's not an option when you're under a company, essentially,
Yeah.
especially like something like Disney.
Oh no, Disney
Yeah,
will let you know when you can. A lot of companies also tell you like you can post when we let you know.
yeah,
So like my friend was part of the Last of Us creation. She was one of the concept artists, right? Yeah, it was really cool. She could not show any of any of her sketches until I think like like the release of the game, like a week and a half after the game was released, because they want to get that trend still for them, not
right.
for the artists.
Yeah,
So
because
and then again,
they're gonna want that revenue for themselves, not for the
yeah,
artist,
yeah.
essentially.
So they did that. And my other friend who works as an animator for Rick and Morty, he is a character designer,
Mhm.
and he had to wait to release any kind of art until after the show was released. But they let them do it a day after it released, like right when it aired, they can like post it.
Right.
Um, so yeah, if you join a company, yeah, and you do have to put on your portfolio like their logo, and that's their
Yeah.
property and stuff like that, which
Yeah.
isn't too bad.
It's not too bad, but I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, it is what it is on that
yeah,
aspect.
it's not too bad, but still.
It's it's a contract thing.
Yeah, it's a contract thing.
And
It's a
read your
royalty.
contracts. If you're
Yeah, it's a
gonna do
royalty
anything,
material.
read your contracts. Please, please, please. If you have someone, a legal advisor or something, ask them to read your contract and find any type of flaws in the contract, because you may never know what you're signing up for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
So just
even
be cautious.
I don't know which company it was, if it was like Rockstar or if it was wow, I can't remember. The one in San Diego. No, Carlsbad. What is that one? It's small.
Uh,
They made I don't even know what they made. I forgot what the name is. It's like a local one, and it's really small. Not really small, but um
just Sony.
no, they're not Sony. They have a dragon eye as their logo.
Oh, I don't remember.
Wow, it's gonna bother me. Hold on, let's look at this up together before I start continuing. Wait a second.
This
Okay,
is
we
starting
know
to
it's a
turn like into advice rather than just like letting you like saying the spiel. I guess I'll just talk a little bit about why like I felt that way after school, how it kind of just made me hate art in general.
yeah, Daybreak. It's
It,
called Daybreak.
okay, cool. Good job.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry, I had to know. I had to know.
That's cool.
Yeah. One of them, I think one of them got almost sued for
Wow.
their contract, saying that they couldn't use their um like, let's say you were a concept artist and you
Hmm.
were with them when you made it art, and then when you leave, you can't show in your portfolio anymore.
Oh,
So
what?
because they're saying they own 100% of everything, and if you leave, you can't use it. But they did it in a way that was very secrety, like
Yeah.
very under the radar, to the
Yeah.
point where like you wouldn't catch it if you read it. Um, and so a lot of people were very upset, so they like sued them.
Oh,
Yeah. So they're
that's
like,
nuts.
uh-oh. So yeah. Anyway, continue with
Anyway,
your
so anyways, so
school.
school. So I love the thing about school is it was very much a love-hate thing. It was
Yeah.
definitely very much like the shiny, polished things that you want to see when you go into art school, and you get all these
Hmm.
supplies and stuff, but it's all coming out of your like whatever you getting for financial aid or whatever. It's all coming out of that, and obviously it's very expensive. But uh, that wasn't so much more of the issue. Regardless of what kind of school you're going into, you're bound to spend money, and you're
Yep.
bound to get some sort of debt. That is a freaking given. Like there's no way around it.
Yep.
But what I did not anticipate was how much was going to be demanded of us when we went into school. And the
Yeah.
thing is with our school, it was so everything was so fast because they just wanted students to get their degrees and just go out there and make a name for themselves and type of situation. Like that's kind of how it felt like in the after a while. After a while being there, like maybe the third or second year of being at school, and you're just basically kind of doing almost the same thing with every single lesson. It's just a lot of repetition and just learning new things and having to keep learning those things, but always being told that we basically have to do it on our own. It's just like, here's what you do, now go do it type of
Yeah.
situation. And a lot of people don't learn that way. And there were some good teachers, some bad teachers, uh, but that's also another given. Like you just don't know what you're going to be getting that the next year, the next semester, or the next quarter. Uh,
Which sucks.
and yeah, which kind of sucked because like uh,
Or
uh,
they took classes away from us that we were
yeah,
really excited to do, and then they took it away.
yeah. It was just one of those things that kind of just irked you because you were anticipating or you were getting excited for a specific class that was being offered, and then all of a sudden they just took those classes away. And what was just so odd about it is the fact that we were spending all of this money on this school, and for those resources to all of a sudden not be available was very like just it just made me really mad because I that's what I was looking forward to.
Yeah.
And then those classes were taken away, and it was just kind of a bummer after a while. And um
Yeah.
I think the transition from 2D art and 3D art or 3D design and stuff just kind of burned me out. Like I was
Yeah.
so just done with having to do all of these assignments and doing things that I didn't want to do. It just kind of put so much strain onto like us as students that I even had to take a semester off because I was having such a hard time that my grades were suffering for it, and I'm like, I'm doing something wrong here, and I just am not mentally capable of handling it, and
Mhm.
I just needed that break, and I did, and I came back, and I'm glad I did come back because for a time I was like, I don't know if I want to come back because it's so stressful, and the
Yeah.
anxiety that I was getting just being in that environment of like just kind of leeching off of you without much of a reward, just a grade is kind of like just too much to handle for me at least.
Yeah.
And yeah, so after school, like I just got really, really depressed, and I
Mhm.
couldn't do art. Like I just couldn't find any inspiration. I couldn't find any motivation. I like just being in front of a computer was too much. Like it was it was a lot. But I
It
like
was.
ultimately I did end up forcing myself to continue doing artwork, but it was all a lot of very empty artwork. It was nothing that I had passion for. And it
Yeah.
wasn't until recently that I started going back onto like doing those challenges on Instagram and looking at references. I feel like
Mhm.
school made us look for references all the time, but I didn't really know how to use those references. Not up until like a year ago or so, that I started to realize, oh, this is how I can utilize my references,
Yeah.
and I'm using them today, and I've been doing pretty well if I do say so myself. Like I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I'm doing pretty well, and I'm it's making me excited into getting back into artwork and
Yeah,
finding
of
a
course.
like yeah, like just changing my brain into thinking differently, essentially, on
Mhm.
art, and it's I'm finding it a lot more enjoyable now than I have
Mhm.
in a long, long time. And
That's good.
yeah,
Yeah. I know. The the point where you're like from transition from 3D to do 2D, it was just so crazy because like yes, they did do a layout where you did all this 2D stuff first, right?
mhm, yeah,
And then you go into 3D. But
yeah,
the thing was you didn't fully like absorb the 2D tactics that helps you with the 3D world because I before I went back to 2D, I was doing 3D character design, 3D I did 3D prop design and then I did 3D character design, but I was having a hard time trying to understand the anatomy.
yeah,
And then I started looking more at 2D references because yeah, they showed us like use reference,
mhm,
right? But it's hard to just come up with a character in 3D just willy-nilly. So you
mhm,
do have to do 2D, but that was like a struggle for a lot of people because they wouldn't
yeah,
do 2D first. They go straight into 3D because it saves you time. But in
yeah,
reality, it doesn't really save you time. For me, it didn't save me any time. Until like I did create a character that I was super proud of because I created from like literally head to toe. But
mhm,
it didn't fill me any joy at all.
right.
Was that girl
It was
that does
more of like, oh, I have to finish this.
yeah, I have to. But I was like, that's not what I wanted to go to school for. It
Yeah,
wasn't just because I had to. And they didn't really teach us a lot of how to create our portfolio correctly. Like they didn't tell you how your
right.
layout should be for characters, tell you how to snap the photos on your characters or how to take good camera angles in the 3D environments and stuff like
Mhm,
that. They didn't tell you exactly how that should look on your portfolio. People just winged it, and if it looked
yeah,
good, it looked good. But it was very like you have to be independent with your art.
yeah.
And they were so strict with like certain rules. You couldn't do any anime. I remember when we first joined,
Oh,
remember?
yeah, yeah. They were like, if
He
you're
was
here for
like,
anime, you're gonna struggle. And I was like, what?
"What?" I was like, "Have you not seen the billion-dollar
I was like,
companies in Japan anime?"
right? And then like Netflix right now is like, they have like their own anime and stuff. So
Yeah, I
it's
was like, "What the?"
kind of funny.
Yeah, I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, it's
And
just
then
like
some
they
of
were
them
saying that
like,
there's not a market in the States for anime. And I'm like,
"That's
have you seen half the
why."
students here?
I know. Have you seen half the
Have you
students here?
talked to
Oh,
any of them?
yeah. I'm like, have you not seen like some of the small companies here that's always looking for artists? And I was like, oh, okay. That was a very like stab to a lot of people.
Yeah,
Which like I think they were just trying to help us to adapt to different styles, which is fine, but they didn't do a good job teaching that
yeah,
either.
yeah. Because
Yeah.
they did ask us that they wanted us to be a little more flexible on how we do artwork, to like mimic other people's work,
Which
but
is
not
something you need to do.
fully, like, yeah, but
Yeah.
like also staying true to your own whatever they think style is considered.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like it was just very contradictory, and
It was
it just like,
confusing.
yeah, it was confusing.
Yeah, because it was like, you do it like this, but no, you have to do it like this. No, you do it like that. And it's like,
Yeah,
how do you want me to do anything? Yeah, it was just very confusing. And yeah, you just take classes just to pass. You didn't really learn much. Like my character design class for 3D modeling, it sucked. My my last final project sucked. Like the outcome was
yeah,
horrible. It was bad. But I only passed because I turned in my assignments on time.
mm,
But at the end, it was bad.
yeah. I
And it's
struggled through all of
oh
3D.
yeah,
Like I
oh
failed 3D. I think I failed 3D one like twice, and that was a freaking blow. Like and it wasn't because I was just No, it is because I was just not turning in assignments because like at that time is when I was getting so burned out and I couldn't grasp the tools or the not the tools the software. I was having a hard
Yeah.
time with the software. I was having a hard time with Maya, and like I felt
I
so
hate
behind.
Maya. Uh-huh.
I feel so behind, and that was a tough thing to get through for sure. And material and
Yeah.
lighting.
Material and lighting wasn't too bad. I feel like I did better just doing texturing and lighting, and that's kind of what I wanted to focus on at
Mm-hmm.
first was just texturing and lighting, but I wasn't seeing a lot of people like jump to that. And the thing is, like
No.
you when you texture and light, you have to be you have to be like the jack of all trades. Like you have
Yeah.
to be able to change your hat on any style. So you have to be something like a Telltale Games or something like Last of Us, where it's super realistic, or you create
Yeah.
like a playful, colorful, dynamic like Fall Guys. So it really you have to be adaptable.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I get that.
yeah, and that was a thing, and I wasn't able to learn how to um create like the different designs or
Yeah.
styles like I do now. But
Yeah.
yeah. And I was like, oh, okay.
It's a lot of work, especially like textures and mapping and all that stuff. It's a lot of work. And
Yes, but
I was not good at it at all. There was
me
no
too.
way. I was like, yeah, I don't think 3D's for me. But like the whole last 2 years of art school was heavily focused on 3D art.
Yep.
And I was just like, I don't want to take these classes because I'm not going to do anything with them. And
Yeah.
that was one of the other reasons that got me so burnt out of art school was just how much they were cramming 3D down our throats
Mhm.
that I was just kind of like done. Like
Yeah.
after a while I just started taking like digital illustration classes and not web design but uh like a lot of um what's it called logo design classes. Like I started taking a lot of those after a while because I just didn't want anything to do with 3D.
Yeah.
I
And
was like
I
so close to changing my major too. Like I was
mhm.
just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I was gonna change
You
to advertising and I was like, but do I really want to do this?
yeah, right. I know. I felt like being in the media arts department didn't make me feel that professional to be with like the logo designers, so I never went. But I wanted to do game design,
Uh-huh.
and I took my what are the free electives? The ones you can pick anything. The electives I picked
Yeah.
anything with game design, and I kind of regretted it because we were in that company, the game company, for a while, and I was like, oh, I can help
Yeah.
grow it. But then I
Yeah.
lost my interest in it because
Yeah.
it bored me. So,
Right. And then
and
like
I'm
it's just this one of those things also where it's just like a lot of people weren't really working well together and that was another thing that we just couldn't get past with
there was
creating
so
more
many
production. It's
childish
just
people.
yeah, it's just like like something that they don't really talk about at school either,
Yeah.
because they definitely want everyone to succeed, and burning bridges is definitely something you don't want to do. But you're going to get a lot of people you don't like in the industry, and it's going to be hard.
No matter
Uh,
where you go, you're gonna
yeah,
meet people you don't like. It's how you
yeah,
react to it.
yeah,
It makes
exactly.
you who you are.
Yeah,
And a lot of people did not react well.
no. And it's because a lot of them were very young, not gonna lie. I went back into school a lot older than most of the students that were going
Yeah.
into media arts and animation. So it was very hard for me having to like be around all these kids fresh out of high school and their
Kid.
yeah big old eyes and like hoping for the best and I'm here kind of like
We'll
I
see.
don't want to say like cynic, but I was definitely very cynical at that time. I still am. I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
But not to that extreme at that time, for sure. I was
Yeah.
optimistic still, but like I still am. I try to maintain optimism at all in all aspects, but like it's very hard. Not gonna
I
lie,
know.
it's hard not to be a cynic, but I'm
It
trying.
is. It is. Yeah, like, no, you're right. It was a lot of people, especially with the newer people. Like, I mean, like, I was pretty young when I joined, but the people who were after me, like, by a year or two,
Mhm.
they were worse.
Yeah,
Not gonna
uh,
lie,
yeah, like
very
in
lot of
our
people from the I generation, like,
yeah,
I did about what I need. I need this. You need to give this to me. I'm
yes.
owed this kind of thing.
Yeah, a lot of students like that started coming in, and that's kind of like around the time where when a lot of the really good professors or teachers were leaving, and that was where what was when one of those really unfortunate things is just um, that it felt like it was them who was making them go away.
I know. It
Not to
kind of
put
seemed like
blame
it.
on anybody, but it was just like right when those students came in, all the
Yeah.
good teachers left.
Yeah.
It was
It kind
weird.
of just fell in place. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, huh.
And I not gonna lie, I was hearing a lot of people, a lot of them, the reasons why they're leaving is because there were so many complaints from other students, from the newer students.
Yeah, it was.
And I'm
And
just like,
I was just like, what
okay,
the heck? Yeah.
like, where's your tough skin?
Yeah.
Great.
Because if you can't take a critique, would not do anything in the arts.
Oh my gosh, that happens so much at school. It's just like be prepared to always get criticized in some way. And a lot of these a lot of the newer kids that are coming in weren't ready for it. And
No.
yeah, it's difficult. It's yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you walk
Like
into something,
I'm
you're
not gonna
like,
lie.
hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I sometimes got really defensive, but I always held back in that aspect. I didn't want to seem defensive because, a lot of the times they were right. And we
Yeah.
have to face facts that we're not going to be, the greatest artist out there. It's just take the critique for what it is and move on. You have the choice of whether you want to listen to that critique or not. And I think a lot of people forget that too.
Yeah.
It's
Sometimes,
just
like, yeah,
like
I used to take,
don't hold it to heart so much.
yeah, I used to take things personal and I would get like so mad when people were like, um, they would be like, "Oh, well, you need to fix this in art." I'm like, "Well, I like it like that, so whatever." But I wouldn't say it out loud. I would just say it in my head and I won't change. And then and later I was like, "Man, that was annoying. I need to stop doing that because when I see other people do that, I'm just like, yeah,
Yeah, it's like, oh wait, I'm being a hypocrite.
I'm being a hypocrite." So I was like, "Gotta stop."
Yeah,
Yeah, I was like, Elisa, not today."
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's basically the whole spiel. But like, I do think that people should go to art school, or if they want to go to art school, go to art school. It was a great experience. Out of everything, like out of all of the BS from art school, it was a great experience. At the end of it all, it was very much a lot of pressure, but I don't want
Yeah.
to deter people at the same time. If it's something that you want to do it. Don't let
It's too
anybody stop
late.
you from doing things that you think are going to help you succeed or whatever, like move forward in your life, whatever it is, just do it. Don't let I like this one thing that I did learn from my mom is just if something seems scary, just do it because if you don't do it, you're gonna regret it, and you don't want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't wanna be like later in your life, you're like,
Yeah,
I should have tried that, like give it a
yeah,
little test, see how it goes.
yeah,
And if you do go to schools, make sure you go for scholarships and grants. Always go for them. I know it's a hassle,
yeah,
but scholarships really save your life at the end when it comes to paying your tuition.
yeah. There are options
Really,
out there, guys. Let's
there's a lot. You guys
listen.
got this.
You guys
Yeah.
got this. I believe in you. As a 31-year-old lady, I believe in you.
Whoa. I thought you were 19. What?
Oh, yeah, I am 19
Good.
technically. Uh, on the internet, I am a 19-year-old,
Oh my
but
god.
in real life,
Sounds
I'm
like
a
you're ooh,
31-year-old.
clicking people. What is it? Fish baiting people. Whatever the word is. You just catfishing. Makes it seem
I'm
like you
not
were just catfishing
catfishing.
right now.
Okay, well, I still watch PewDiePie, and PewDiePie says that I'm a 19-year-old, so I'm just gonna go off by that.
Whoa. You heard it here, folks. She's a 19-year-old.
Unless it changes
Bye.
again, I don't know.
Well then, the more you know. The more you flipping know. Oh lordy today.
I know this topic got way weird, but
It's
you
all
know,
good.
that's what this podcast is for. It's just to talk
It is. Let's be honest.
and give
Oh,
advice, some
and give
advice.
advice. Some, just a little bit. Well, awesome. If you guys like this, check us out. This is always brought to you by Elite 23 Shopping. Get 30% off your whole purchase by using code CBP. Almost flipped it. CBP. Get 30% off your whole purchase. Um, but yeah, thank you for joining us in this episode.
And if you like what we do here, please feel free to like, subscribe, or follow us on all our other social medias. Everything is all in the description down below. You can find all the links down there.
Yeah, yeah. Great, great, great. That was great.
Thank you. Bye.
Guys, we will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.